Okay. So there's a few things to address here. I think we'll start at the start to give you guys a bit of a backstory first, right? So there was that stream that Juniper ended. Um, was it Juniper that ended that? Yeah, it was Juniper that ended it, and we were all backstage, right? Um, and yeah, we stayed back there, and even some of the other boys came up there, and we're mainly talking to Juniper and Angela. And this is where it actually goes back to the start of the stream where I told Juniper that like Angela's gonna get fucked with, right? Like I said, even in my chat, like you're gonna get timed out in my chat. Like we don't fucking ban anybody that's unless they're fucking doxes or clown, but you're gonna get timed out. Why? Because like it's like if you're gonna have that energy on one thing, especially as like a group of degenerate fucking feminine incel men that hang out in the fucking Discord server, like we're gonna make sure that you kind of feel it on the back end of that, right? And I told that to Angela, and she's like, I was like, and as long as you're fine with that, right? As long as you're fine with that, and like you know that people are gonna come at you if you don't publicly speak about this shit, then that's fine, right? But don't expect like to have like free course even in my channel. And she totally understood that, right? So that's what I told you earlier when you were like talking about her getting you or her getting timed out. No, I fucking said it, dude. Like that, those are the rules of the internet. Like those are the rules of life in the first place to me. But those are the rules of the internet, right? So that's point one. Point two is that we went behind the scenes. Yeah, we talked and we did something. Especially myself did something that would I would not regularly do. Right? You kind of take off the mask, and it's not that I wear a heavy mask, but like I typically don't have much empathy or compassion for people, just random people on the internet, people that choose to be here. Right? No one's holding a gun to your head here. Right? Like you choose to be here. You might be just a little bit in the bullshit. Right? You might be completely out and just like kind of a figurehead. Right? Yeah, I kind of always refer to those as kind of like the Vlad and Lalas, right? There's some other good examples of that, right? Like Dom's a good example of that. Dominique's a good example of that, right? Dominique's not like overly nice or anything, but she stays out of the bullshit, right? She doesn't get into it. She doesn't poke at it, right? And then you got the people that are mid bullshit, right? And then you got the people that are like full bullshit, right? And the majority of people, you're here for the full bullshit. Even the people that are not, they could still catch shrapnel. It's just a point. It's just a fact of the matter, right? So what I'm getting at is that I don't have much compassion because you choose to be here. You can be somewhere else if this place is tearing you apart. People's expectations about this being some sort of fucking group therapy on YouTube is fucking ridiculous and not realistic. So to continue, I stayed back there to mainly talk with you about like spurging and feeding people things, feeding the trolls shit, right? And like, I usually wouldn't have that conversation with anybody. Like, obviously, I don't need to have those conversations with the fucking boys because we're all internet degenerates and we know what we signed up for, and we don't let fucking words and shit get to us, right? And we know not to like disclose certain things because anything that you disclose here is going to be used against you, right? Anything is. So, like, you trying to put it up on some tower to be like, this is me and this is why I do stuff. That's great. That's wonderful. Even if it was 1,000% valid and you were correct that this thing that you put up on this fucking ivory tower fucking gave you the right to do X, Y, and Z or act the way of X, Y, and Z, it doesn't matter here on the internet. It does not matter. In fact, it's a double reversed fucking Gomez where people will actually take that, even if it's 1,000% correct, and they're going to use it against you. They're going to use it against you. And I see you in the basement. I'm going to finish my fucking rant because you have a problem with talking over people. I even said that when we were backstage. So that's what happened back there. I'm trying to give you some recourse of like, here's what you shouldn't be doing. And you acting like, I am strong and this is why I bring these things up is fucking, it's only hurting you. It's a great example. A great example of it is this, is what Juniper does is 10x of what Susan did when Nonya was dragging her cam slip. That's what Juniper does. The last thing you want to do is like pull up your britches and be like, you know what? I did that because of here's personal information about my past that I don't want you to bring up after I'm done saying this. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. That's what happened back there. That's what was told back there. If you want to take that as like, oh, the boys are on your side, no. If anything, it was like, yeah, I took down. That's usually a conversation that I wouldn't expel energy to, but I was trying to help you out because it seems like you really need this place. And as I told you back there, you're gonna get eaten alive. It's gonna eat you alive. And I don't think anything that I said back there you've taken to heart. Now, let me take a sip. We get into this shit. And the whole reason why I was going to address this. Now, and see, I have a right to talk about this because I haven't done any of this shit. But now I'm going through chat when FCC gets up here. And you say something to Josh about his family, information that you would only know from seeing or hearing doxed information. And then, this is unreal, Juniper. And then you put into chat that something about boys having loose lips. Bro, no one has loose lips. You can obviously just get that information from the fucking purple account that was running around. It was your sorry ass that had to revert to that to use it against Josh in this fucking tit for tat argument you're going at. And you justify it. Here's where the fucked up thing is. You justify it by him poking at things that you brought up publicly. And this is what reverts me back to the initial argument of like you putting something up on a tower and being like, hey, this is why I act this way. This is why I did that, right? That's what Josh is talking about, right? Just like I said, internet degenerates are going to twist it and use it against you. That's what they do. But you're the one that put it out there. For you to come into my chat, for a guy that you obviously know I'm going to white knight for, and do some veiled shit like that, and then say, maybe some of the boys have some loose lips, get the fuck out of here. Unreal. And then you're the one that cries about family shit getting brought up? And you want to use some backdoor shit about fucking saying something about his family that clearly he didn't disclose. Even if it was, let's say it was me, Juniper. Let's say it was me that told you something about his family. It was me that told you. You're still going further than he did because I didn't say it publicly. He didn't say it publicly. You did. You said it. It was me, bro. It was me, bro. Okay, now let's let her up. Let's get the story. Welcome to the stage.
Hello.
So it was me. It was me that told you.
At the end of the conversation, when everybody else had left, it was you, I, and Angela, and your words were, I probably shouldn't say this, but Juniper, you need to understand that Josh tends to act a little bit privileged. He's got a father who's important, and he acts like a privileged little something. I don't know what you said. And that I need to expect that from him. Those were your exact words.
That is not what I said one bit.
Oh, Angela! Where's Angela? Not that anybody's going to believe her or you're going to let her up, but yes, the fuck you did.
Unreal.
Bro, you're mad that I'm calling you out. You were the last one in that conversation. You were the last one to leave that StreamYard. They all left.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. It's okay because you know people won't believe me, so they'll believe anything you
yes,
say.
Juniper, that's it, right? Exactly, because this is the same arguments that you had when we were talking back there, right? When I'm like, when you're like, I brought all the evidence front. Listen, I brought all the evidence front, and people didn't listen to me. People didn't listen to me, right? And it's like, now I don't get to do the way you do, where I use people's words against them because I'm just going to be wrong. No, it's the same thing with this. It's like, no, Juniper, you're taking Juniper, you're taking that completely out of context.
For the ladies.
No, Juniper, you're taking that completely out of context. What I said Yeah, what I said was that I referred to Josh and his family is I said the things that Josh and I that have been happening to us, we don't speak of. You're the one. This is exactly how that got brought up because I was talking about how you spurred anything
Well,
that
don't
happens to
say
you.
that you
You
didn't bring
go
it up
you go
because you
live,
did.
yeah, but it wasn't in the context of Josh is a little privileged bitch and that's why he acts this way. What the fuck
You
are you talking
used
about?
the
No, what
word
I was
privilege. I didn't.
no,
I didn't use the
what I
word
talked
privilege.
no, what I talked about Juniper, was the fact that there's a bunch of shit that you or no one else knows, and I don't even want to be talking about this now, that's happened since Josh was doxxed and I was doxxed. And you don't see us running around the internet clutching our fucking pearls, talking about, oh, it's all of us. We lost all this fucking money. There's people coming after our families. There's a ton of shit going on in the background. And what I said was, it's even more critical with Josh due to his family. That's what I said. That's what I said, Juniper.
You said due to his
You
father
you
being
you
someone
complete
important. You said
you
due
that
to his
exactly.
father being
It's
important.
yes, exactly, Juniper.
And
So
that's all I said in
exactly.
chat. I used your words in chat, and I'm an
Again,
asshole.
again. So then you took something that was said in private to use as an example of like us
Well, when
being on
they're
the
going to
same
keep
level of like
hammering me, yeah, it's okay for
that's
them
so
to use
so
all this
you're Juniper.
impersonal
So the
shit.
fact Juniper. So the fact of the matter is, it just comes down to it. You are just as
Okay,
much of a scumbag as the people you talk
okay,
about. Because when push
okay,
comes to shove, look at what's happened in the past. Right? I saw
okay.
Jilly's docs. I haven't doxed Jilly once. I haven't doxed her once. I had
I
that shit
didn't say you.
recorded, Juniper. The first thing
I
you
know
did. The
I
first thing you
did it.
did.
I've
The
not
first thing you
denied
did.
it ever. I've never
Okay,
denied that I did it.
now we cut to here. Now we cut to here, Juniper.
I've
I'm
never
like giving
denied
you, I'm showing some empathy towards you and being like, hey, listen, there's some terrible shit happening to Josh and myself, right? And
there was no empathy from any of you.
I downplayed myself, right? And said
There
it's
was
even more
no
critical to
empathy.
Josh due to his family, right?
The
And that
only
was a private
empathy I
conversation.
received,
That was a private conversation, and you're out here on the YouTube
I am.
streets
You know why? Because you're all
crying,
fake as
and you
fuck. You wanna
no,
you wanna
no,
call out other people, but you're all fake as fuck. The only empathy I got
no.
from any of you. Now let me finish. I The only empathy I got from any of you was from Damone and from the bad guy. None of the rest of you gave a flying fuck. I actually turned my volume all the way down for the entirety of Josh's conversation with Angela because he was being a dick and I didn't want to hear it. I was in the back chat
That's what your
chatting with
that's what your that's what your issue is, right? Is you don't want to hear it, right? And that's
because
where
it had
that's where
nothing to
all
do with
this
me. He was addressing Angela, and I would have
no, it's
interrupted.
and it's just no, it's just where all this shit flies right over your head. Because that's why exactly you say, I didn't hear them say that. I didn't hear TBS. When I said, Angela, you're gonna keep getting fucked with. And Angela's been around the internet long enough to know that like she knows what she signed up for by not addressing the shit. And she's fine with that. She can be fine with that, right? But like you clearly don't
Yeah,
have
but
a grip on reality, Juniper.
no, I immediately denounced Edward. I have not defended him at all. I have no grip
Okay,
on
put the Edward
reality.
shit aside. Put the Edward shit aside.
Well,
You
that's what
love
everyone's
you're
coming at me. I'm calling me a predator defender and a chomo protector.
okay,
What?
okay, Juniper. Put all that shit aside. You're just like the fucking you're just like Nunya. You when you get a little
I'm
bit
not
pressed, you
just
dig
like
you
Nonya.
dig into your no, you dig into your little quiver and you grab some personal information. It's bitch shit. It's bitch shit. You just did it here.
I didn't
And
say
the only
anybody's name.
the
I didn't dox anybody.
it's
So
it's the
I'm an
same exact
asshole.
it's the
They
same
get to
exact
talk
fucking
about
thing.
my
It's the same
family, but I can't.
because you brought it public. You are the one that does that. That's what I
Okay,
was
TBS.
trying to relate back to you. That is what I was trying to
Okay.
relate back to you.
There was
And then
no
what you
empathy
did
here. You
is
guys are fake as fuck.
you twisted it around to be like,
No,
oh
I
no,
didn't.
you were saying no, he spurs in chat because he's privileged or something.
I
No,
didn't say
that's
you
not
said it like to talk
you.
shit about it. I didn't mean it
That's
that way.
exactly what you just said.
But
That's
no, no,
exactly
I
how
said what
you
I said. I did say that, but I'm not. You're Jesus Christ.
now you're walking that back. Unreal.
No, I'm
Juniper,
not walking it back.
I'm
I'm
just
just
saying.
trying to slow down so I don't yell. That's all. I'm just
And
slowing
what
down. I'm
happened,
not
Juniper?
walking
What
it
happened
back.
is what the equivalent to being fake as fuck to you is some of the boys jumping in the back and being like, "Yo, Juniper, you were for sure Spurgeon. Even Christy said you were Spurgeon. You were like, I was not Spurgeon. You guys can think that, but I wasn't. You were 100% Spurgeon, Juniper. A.
No, I
B,
wasn't.
right, is us, some of us being like, okay, we'll take down the internet persona for a second and be like, yo, if you're gonna
Yeah,
survive
you
here,
all acted
here's
like you cared.
here's our fucking advice, right? Here's our fucking advice. The next day, apparently, this is when I was working, but apparently you come
Yep,
in and
I brought
chat
it up.
acting like I'm the king of the castle. I'm the king of the castle.
No, 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 no,
Everyone
no.
support
That's
me.
not what I said, though. I said last night I felt supported by the boys. Silly and Josh said, we didn't tell you we supported you. And I didn't say that. I said I felt supported. Now I
Even
know
even bad
and I
guy, even
see.
bad guy. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm just taking a breath.
Listen, I'm not gonna have you up here
No,
crying
bro.
like that.
I don't want to cry. I'm just, when I get angry, it's what happens. It's why I'm taking a breath.
Listen,
You all acted like,
even bad guy told you back there. He was like, "I'm still gonna troll you."
I know,
That's
but you know what he also
that's
said? He also privately told me that he's not, no,
no.
he's
Don't tell.
kind.
Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me
I'm
anything he
not
said
going to. I
privately.
stopped. I'm
You were
not
just
going to. I
about to.
stopped. I know. I stopped. I said he's kind to me. That's all I said. I stopped myself. But he is kind to me. He doesn't treat me like the rest of y'all do. He trolls me, yeah. But y'all are not you, even. Not even you. But your little friends, some of them are fucking rotten. Like, I control.
Hurt.
I'm angry now, and so I'm crying. Yes, big fucking deal. I can talk through it. It is what it is. It's just something that happens, which I explained to all of you. Some of you thought it was funny. Some of you, like yourself, appeared to show empathy. I know Damone completely has empathy for me. Like, I don't question that whatsoever. I know that that man supports me and understands why I get so upset. Bad guy's the biggest troll here, but he doesn't bother me. I don't get triggered by him because I know that the harder he goes on somebody, for the most part, means he like, if you don't troll you like that and he's just a dick, then he don't like you. Like, I've been around
No,
long enough to watch.
the problem is you just don't. It's selective trolling that you choose that is terrible and not right. I can assure you that
Should
I
I?
know that no that there that's
I'm
all it
quiet.
is. That's all that it is. Juniper is you just don't like the type of trolling that Josh does to you. Maybe it's a bit more crass, right? Maybe it's not as playful, right? That's what you don't like about it. But when push comes to shove, the divide is that there's no personal information that is being divulged in use of being a troll, right? I know he's not doing
I
that. I
didn't
know he's
say
not
any
doing that.
personal information. I didn't
I
say anybody's
understand that.
name.
I
I don't
understand that.
know that. I didn't
But you're
look into
putting
him.
this,
None of that. But you know
but you're
what?
saying, oh, but
They
bad guy's such a good troll. There's other ones that are so mean to me and they're so worse. No, Juniper, you don't get a
they
spectrum.
are.
You don't get a spectrum of trolling. That's my whole rant up
Are
here,
you
right?
kidding?
Is like, yes, Juniper, I
But
am
there's
not
all
kidding
different
one
kinds of
bit.
trolls.
Yes, you don't get to choose where on the troll spectrum you get to fucking draw the line at. The line should be drawn at doxing personal information, and you
And
fucking love doing
I
that.
agree with that. I agree with that.
And you,
I haven't given
they clearly you don't.
anybody's personal
Clearly you don't.
information out. Yes, I do. Listen, I did it because they like to play on my insecurities. So I pushed a button. The end. The end.
You pushed a
They
personal
like to push
information
mine.
button.
There
You
was
pushed a
no
personal
personal
information.
information
It's the
dropped,
same.
though. There
It's the
was
same
no
exact. It's the
actual
same.
information. It's
It's the
not
same exact
actual
fucking thing.
information. I didn't dox anybody. I didn't say anything.
It's private information. It's private information. Something that was told to you in private. It's just funny. That's what I'm saying. Is like you're like I'm getting pressed, right?
No, I
And
said it you are fake as fuck, bro.
because of the spectrum of
You
trolling
are
that I
fake.
don't
You're
agree
all
with.
fake. Behind the
No,
scenes,
Juniper.
some of you,
No,
yes,
Juniper.
Tommy boy,
I hate to
some of
say
you
this. I
act,
hate to.
some of you act
No,
like you give a shit about people behind the scenes, and you actually don't.
no. The fact of the matter is too is I got to say this, especially after the whole
Okay,
Ed saga. The
right.
fact that you're like, I know Damone has my back and cares about me.
He's told me
Juniper,
so.
oh, that's cute, Juniper. How do you know this man? Why do you people put so much weight into people you don't even fucking know?
I'm not. I'm just saying he's told me that.
Just like Ed
Like,
told you that, and not referring to Demona under the way, but just like Ed told you that
no,
he never
don't
had.
do that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But it's true, Juniper. So the
Ed and
fact of the
Damone
matter
are
is, like,
nothing alike at all.
no,
That's like
you're just,
he.
you're putting people on two different pedestals, right? Based on your own feelings. And
I
what I'm
never.
getting
But
at is
see,
that
that's where you're all
much,
wrong. I never put
no.
Edward
Much
on a
like I told you,
pedestal.
in that StreamYard is
Oh
that
God,
you're
you're
going
all
to get
getting your
eaten alive
content.
if no, you have these expectations. I've said this before.
So do you. You
You have
spurg. You
unrealistic.
literally, your panels are spurging. You do the same thing. You have expectations of Ryan. Why is Ryan acting like a fucking retard when he's supposed to be catcher? You have
And
expectations of PHI because she's a catcher and she fucking doxed you. You have expectations too, bro.
that's right, Juniper, but I'm not doxing people. I'm not fucking crying.
I
I'm
did
not
it
fucking.
once and I know it was fucked up and I've admitted it. How long do I have to say I know I was wrong? I shouldn't have done it.
Juniper, if you think that
TBS.
the way that you act online, right, does not show that you are literally disintegrating, like your personality here to be here, you're delusional because we can tell
Oh my
this shit is
God.
eating you alive. And what I'm
You
saying is
don't
that
know
your
me. You don't
expectations,
know me at all.
no,
You
Juniper,
don't know
you're
me at
no,
all. You
what,
don't.
no, because what I'm saying, see, it's this whole thing, because this is what you do. You go, you don't know me, you don't know my past, and then you start
I
divulging all
didn't
this
say
shit
anything
about
about my
you.
past. I just said you don't know
Not
me.
now. In the past, that's exactly what you would have done,
But
and
you're
you've
bringing up the
already
past.
done it.
I'm not. I'm talking about right now.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that information is already out there, Juniper. You realize that. So like your expectations around like getting some sort of clean slate or having some sort of sliding
I
scale
didn't.
of
I never
what
asked for a
trolling,
clean slate. Nope. I didn't
what sort
say
of
I deserved
trolling,
one.
what sort of trolling is acceptable and what's not.
Julie's
it's
got
not
every right to
realistic.
fucking tear me apart. Like you think I'm ignorant to this? I'm not. I get emotional and I cannot control the tears. That is a fucking personal flaw. I can't help it. But I know when I'm wrong. I know that it's not okay, and I don't expect a restart or a fresh slate. I know that that will always be there, and no one will forget that. And I'm not proud of it. Like that's where you
Listen,
all get me wrong. And I think
listen,
my
listen.
expectations
I
within myself. Let me talk because I'm being like honest. I'm
No,
not
no,
trying
and
to argue with
this
you.
is no. I don't want to do this. I'm not. Listen, I listen. As much as I like disagree with what Sam's doing with Jilly, it's the same thing here. I'm not. I had this conversation. I tried to have a conversation with you
Oh,
in
now
the
you're
background
thinking you're
privately.
taking advantage and getting content out of a mentally ill
No,
person.
no,
Thank you.
privately, and I'm not going to do this with you here, right? I spent an
Thank you.
hour talking you through this shit. You didn't learn one thing. It's still the oh poor me, oh I can't do it, but you can
I
sort of
didn't
shit.
say poor
It's
me.
not.
Oh my
No, it's not
God.
going to happen, Juniper. It's not
You're
going to happen. You can go
gaslighting the
live,
fuck
but I'm
out of
going to
me,
kick
bro.
you. No, Juniper,
Kick
I'm going to
me
kick you from the panel.
later.
It's not healthy for you to be here. I didn't actually kick her either. For the record, she left on her own. Um, wild. That is wild. Yeah. Um, That's why you really shouldn't. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have gone on my way to been like, "Hey, you're kind of being a retard online, right?" And just feeding people with more shit. Like the example that I used that day. Um, she. Let me put it this way. Because I'll keep it PG, right? I'll keep it in the service level. Is that she literally was like, "No, and I fucking hate it when you guys say that," and she said that during the live stream to the chat. It's the equivalent of when Ray used to say, "Hey guys, I don't want trolling in my chat. Like, don't start arguing in my chat." Right? You can't do that. What do you think these internet people are going to do? I hate when you say that. It gets me so pissed off. Those were the things we talked about back there. That is unrealistic expectations. This is a literally a floating fucking cesspool of virtual people. And this idea that there's some sort of decorum or there's some sort of sliding scale that everyone gets to pick and then everyone else fucking agrees upon it is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And you're just going to end up going further and further down the fucking rabbit hole if you don't realize that. The first thing to do is to realize that is to fucking separate this world with your actual real world. This is a playground of debauchery, of very little fucking regulation. So having expectations around things being governed in a way that you see fit is just not fucking realistic. And it's gonna fucking eat you alive inside.